It looked really good. I don't know whether Roy's got that one.
Do you remember that, Nan, wearing silk trousers and, silk blouses and wide leg trousers?
You had a photograph with Auntie Ethel.
Oh, did you?
I'm not sure whether Roy's got it. You need to go and see Roy next time we're up there and have a look at his photograph, because he got a lot of them and he got some of the granddad stuff.
Because I haven't got a photograph of him.
It's got one of our Ethel, mind you, our Brian.
There's one of Grandad.
Our Brian will have got that.
Oh.
Yes.
We'll have to, because he did promise he'd scan them in for me. I know.
He can't even get on Skype now. Dina had to do it for him. It's sad.
And our Brian will have got that photograph.
Brian's got a lot.
She just left school, our Ethel, and she went buffing, and she got a. You know what you had to tie around your head?
A net.
They were red pieces what you had to stick.
Right. It was like a scarf thing.
Like a bandeau.
What do they call them?
Yeah, like a bandeau.
Yeah.
Bandana.
Yes.
Yeah. So was that to stop bits and dust falling into your hair?
And that when she first started work out,
it was like
she were
dust.
She were errand lass. She were errand girl.
What's that? Oh, Erin.
She
ran errands.
She used to they used to buy 2 ounces of bacon, cheese.
Oh, right.
Cheese and potted meat for the for the lunch at dinner times. Yeah. And our Ethel used to do that. She used to say to her, "Come on, Ethel, it's shopping time."
So she went and bought the meat and the cheese.
Yeah, and they used to make their own sandwiches then, you see. Yeah.
You didn't have canteens.
No.
Oh,
so she made them for the staff. Did she make them for everybody?
No, she made them for them all she worked with. They were getting on, some of them, you know. And because they were before when Dolly first come out, it were all rough metal.
Yeah.
And they used to give 6 dozen at a time to do. Teaspoons they were, and salt spoons.
Because you started off with salt spoons, didn't you, when you started? Yeah.
It was the same with me when I started.
So you were 14, you left school the Friday, you started on the Monday.
Yes.
And you had a bit of cloth wrapped around your finger.
Why, yeah.
Just to protect it.
Cut my fingers. That's we buffing.
Yeah.
You had to wrap stuff round you, pieces of rag round your fingers.
That you brought in from home.
Eh?
And you brought the rag in from home.
Oh. No, it used to wear, because you see, when you were dollying, it used to get warm.
Yeah.
And it used to wear off. Oh,
but it protected the finger.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you started off with the little tiny salt spoons.
Hey.
You started off with the little tiny salt spoons.
Yes.
And you had, 6 dozen of those to do? They gave you 6 dozen. You had to polish all those up.
When I first started into buffing, it were Jessie what took me, what died. Jessie took me, and she says, I brought my sister, she says, to learn to do buffing. So anyway, they were silver finish, and he says, I'll give these mustard spoons to do. Anyway, give me about 3 dozen. Mm-hmm. He says, do them, love, and he put me a little buff on and to the machine, and I did them, and I took all silver.
You took the silver off.
I took all silver off.
It was silver plate, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, silver plate. Yeah.
Silver plated, yeah.
That's why they did the little.
And it says to her, when our Jessie walked up me, she was good. She was right. She could do them ever so quick.
Well, that's because she'd been doing it so long.
And he says she's no good. no good for this job. I put too much pressure on.
Yeah.
So what did they have you doing instead?
Hey,
What did they have you doing instead?
I didn't do no more because he didn't give me no.
Where did he send you?
Viners, it were Viners.
Oh, Viners.
Viners was the
Viners.
company, was it?
Yeah. Oh, that was a very well known.
They're still quite a big company
Yeah.
now,
Well,
aren't they?
It were a big buffet shop.
So when he stopped you doing that, what did he give you to do?
I don't know because I left. He put me on sweeping up,
All right.
sweeping floors.
So what did you do then?
Eh?
Where did you go then?
Oh, I got a job, and they were all right though. These it were a little work. Well, this woman, but she worked for this here bloke, and she used to do it. She used to take work off him, and we used to do them
What did you do?
dollying.
It's still the same, polishing up.
So dollying is the word for cleaning spoons, is it?
Polishing.
What do you mean by dollying? Is that polishing?
Hey,
What's dollying?
it's that's what they call it, dollying.
The polishing.
Polishing,
Right.
yes,
With a machine and
Yeah,
it
the
spins
rouge
round.
machine, yes.
The rouge stuff.
So you did your cleaning at Viners and then you
Yes.
went back and had another go and did some more dollying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For somebody else.
On the was that for Viners still?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Because they were individual. What she said was it wasn't one complete
Yeah.
company. They'd got like different companies working in sheds.
Yeah. So you then went back to spoons, did you? You spent a long time doing spoons, didn't you?
oh, I worked for JG.
Forks?
I worked for JG Graves. I got her rattle on a nose. She got on a nose.
Right. Did you do forks or was it just
Used to
spoons?
do forks and spoons.
And what were the
Tea-
best ones to do?
Teaspoons and do teaspoons and forks and dessert spoons and tablespoons.
So as you got better, what was the kind of the higher jobs, the better jobs?
Oh, they were, well, it will I finish them on this, what we used to do, see.
Because they'd make them, they were rough and they had to polish them up and make them shine because they didn't.
Because
until then.
you were telling me the other day that you started off on salt spoons,
Yeah.
and then when you got better, you went to teaspoons,
Yes,
and then was it forks,
yes,
and then knives,
yeah,
tablespoons,
yeah.
and you said and the men like that was kind of as good as the women would do, but the men would do big ladles and sort of kitchenware,
Carving knives.
knives and big sort of like ladles and things.
Did the men do that?
Yeah, they used to be men do it, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
The same as the women or different?
they used to do all, soup ladles.
Yeah.
They used to do all that sort of
Right, the bigger things.
yeah,
Yeah,
soup ladles
Yeah.
and that.
yeah.
They used to do that.
Probably
men.
more money because, of course, there was a difference in pay, remember, between
Yeah.
men and women.
Yeah.
You have a better understanding, don't you? You're like, well, you've been in, haven't you? You see, have you seen?
No, I never saw it.
Haven't you?
I went to the British Steel and saw metal being cast, steel, poured out of great huge things when she worked there.
Oh yeah.
And when you went piecework, see, they used to give 6 dozen at a time, and they used to say, "Hurry up and get them spoons from," because they gave forks out.
Was it more money?
Forks they were a good job. Forks.
It was more money.
It was more money.
Right.
And it were a good job.
Yeah.
You see. And
Doing so piecework was better. You get paid for each piece you do, so you
Oh,
work
ah,
faster.
But they pay a different price for spoons, forks, knives,
Right.
presumably, which is why the men had the ladles.